Hey everyone, this is Renee Frey from Talent Q, and you're listening to the Conscious Professional Podcast. More people than ever want to be happy in their career and personal life, but they're going about it all wrong. I'm here to set their record straight and emphasize the importance of prioritizing your mindset. I'm thrilled you're here. When I originally started my podcast as the career expert, I shortly realized that as much as I love talking careers while making cocktails, hence why my podcast was called Careers and Cocktails, I was only scratching the surface with the career topics that I was covering. I needed to go deeper because what everyone looks to me for is the same. They're all searching for the same thing. They all have the same desire. And that thing is happiness. People want to be happy in their career and have a happy personal life. They come to me for help because most likely I helped one of their friends. I helped their friend get out from under working for a shitty boss. I helped someone escape a toxic work environment. I help someone earn a fat raise and get paid their worth. And at the root of all of this, every single situation is the desire to be happy. So this is where the new name and the total revamp of the podcast comes in. I've chosen to name the podcast The Conscious Professional because it's time to go about your career and your life in a different way, the conscious way. I have over 20 years of experience working with thousands of professionals, coaching people in their careers, and nearly 10 years of owning a recruiting firm. I finally realized what was holding people back. That single thing that holds everyone back, that prevents them from moving forward and achieving what they want, is their mindset. I believe your mindset is the most important thing that will help you transform your life to live the life you want to live. This epiphany is what moved me to change the focus of the podcast to mindset. Think of your mindset as a well-guarded bank vault, just like the ones you see in those high-stake heist movies. This vault, however, doesn't contain stacks of cash or glittering jewels. Instead, it holds something even more valuable: the limitless potential for your personal and professional growth. Now, to access this vault, you need the right combination, a unique set of mental keys. These keys represent your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. And behind that vault door lies a whole world of opportunities, happiness, and success. But here's the catch. Many of us aren't even aware that that vault exists within us, let alone how to unlock it. The combination to this mental vault isn't some secret code, but rather a series of positive mental shifts in your mindset. Just like in the movies where the mastermind figures out the combination through a series of clues, you too can decipher your own combination. Imagine each positive thought, each constructive belief, and each empowering emotion as a unique number in your combination. These numbers, beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, when they're aligned in the right sequence, they allow you to open the door to endless possibilities. But here's the beautiful part. Unlike a traditional vault, this one doesn't deplete its contents. When you take something out, the more you unlock, the more you embrace the treasures within, the more they're going to multiply. Let me break down some of these mental keys that form your combination. And some of you may be hearing this for the first time in your life. 1, what we believe determines what we think. Number 2, what we think determines our feelings. Number 3, how we feel determines our actions. And number 4, our actions over time become habits. And number 5, habits determine the quality and outcome of our lives. Write this down and let me say it again. What we believe determines what we think. What we think determines what we feel. How we feel determines our actions. And our actions over time become habits. And habits determine the quality and outcome of our lives. As you work on each of these mental keys and align them in the correct sequence, you'll find that the vault door becomes easier and easier to unlock. And the treasures within represent your full potential, your happiness, and your ability to create the life you desire. Remember, you have the power to access this vault and claim its treasures. Your mindset is the master key that can unlock the door to a life that feels like $1,000,000. It all starts with recognizing the potential within yourself and making a conscious effort to turn those mental keys in that right direction. Let me start with beliefs. What we believe determines what we think. Why is it so hard to change? Why can't we lose weight? Why can't we get beyond a certain income level? Why can't I get a promotion? Why can't we achieve our goals? We have the most difficult time as human beings because we believe in a past identity of ourselves. This old identity, often that old identity you're holding on to, you might not even be conscious of it. Some of the identities people are tied to that's constantly running in the background of their subconscious lives every single day. And think of how many years this tape has been playing over and over on repeat in the background of your life. For some of you, it may feel like Mount Everest to even try to change it. On top of all of this, we say things to ourselves every day in our heads that identify who we are. I'm a person who goes to the gym. I'm not good at math. I'm a smoker. I'm nerdy. I'm fun. I'm a small town girl from Iowa. I'm a farm boy. Some of my personal identities I had circling around in my head were, I'm a free school lunch kid. I'm a kid with an alcoholic father. I'm a CODA, which means child of deaf adult, and on and on. These thoughts that we say to ourselves make up our identity. Coupled with what we learn from our culture, our society, and how we were raised by our parents, there's a chance right now you could be holding on to the identity someone planted in your mind when you were little. Let me share some details about the subconscious mind. From the time you're born till around the year of 7 years old, our subconscious minds are taking in everything as truth because it's wide open. It's bringing everything in, believing every single thing in as truth. Everything you heard from your parents, your teachers, your caregivers, everything you heard, your subconscious mind took it in as truth. So if you heard, that's not for girls, that's not for boys, you're just like your father, you're just like your mother, stop being so sensitive, why can't you be more like Bobby? You have to work hard to make money. Rich people are jerks. All of these statements that make up your identity have been there a long time. And over the years, I've had a lot of one-on-one conversations with professionals. Like a lot, multiple a day. And almost every time, I recognize that they're all struggling with the same things. But no one's talking about what really solves it, and no one wants to ask for help. They just continue to let their lives being stuck, going through the motions in a pattern of negative self-talk, thinking it's too late, they're too old, there's not enough time, and they have gone as far as they can go in their career. Feeling like an imposter because they're fearful and they don't know how to get out of it. Their life just is what it is. They can't change their reality because they don't know how. They don't know where to start. When we hold on to these labels, we are being limited by them. This is completely old tape. And who you believe you are is keeping you stuck. To transform and change yourself, you need to create a new identity. You'll never become the voice in your mind, the one that's telling you who you can be, and you can be anything you want, if you don't create a new identity and break away from the old one. Now, I'll go deeper into this on future episodes, but I want you to know right now, you can make an immediate change. Right now, from this moment forward, think of yourself today as you 2.0. When I needed to transform my identity, I started referring to myself as Renee 2.0. I visualized in my mind the latest and greatest future version of who I wanted to be. It allowed me to make a clean break and cut off those old identities I was hanging on to and really focus on future, Renee 2.0. When I was 27 years old, I had a complete identity crisis and my whole life turned upside down. At the time, I thought I was super successful. I was married to the love of my life. I had a great job. I was earning over $200,000 a year. I was crushing it at work. I was a top performer at my company. I went on all the award trips that all the top producers went to. I went to the schwankiest hotel. I remember staying in the Broadmoor in Colorado, went horseback riding through the mountains. Oh my God, it was incredible. We were wined and dined and we were treated like royalty. And with all of this success, it came at a cost. I was working over 70 hours a week. I was always late to everything. I was so competitive and money hungry. I put work first before everything else in my life. If we had dinner reservations, it wasn't uncommon for me to be showing up an hour late. I'd be finishing up work at my office while people sat there and waited for me at a restaurant to get there. I'll be completely honest. At the time, I was an awful wife. I was an awful friend. And I'm not sure why people put up with this shit. My work and making money was as possible and pretty much my only goal, my only target. Everything else was second fiddle. And while all of this was going on, my husband Dustin and I started talking about starting a family. And in my mind, I could not figure out how I could work 70 hours a week and raise kids. Long story short, I was anorexic in high school, never had support to work through this issue. And during college, in my 20s, my weight was like a yo-yo. I'd be skinny, then I'd be fat, I'd gain weight, I'd be skinny, I'd be fat, constant, over and over and over, just a total yo-yo. And when I sat back and thought about bringing kids into this world, I knew I had to have a healthy relationship with food because I don't want to pass these unhealthy thoughts and relationships with food onto my kids. So I sought professional help. I was going to fix this before having kids. And I will never forget sitting across the couch from the psychologist. This was several visits in. I felt a light bulb explode in my head, tears streaming down my face. I was bawling my eyes out. My whole body was shaking from the intense emotional feelings I was having. And my first thought was, it's a lie. It's a lie. My whole life up until this point has been a total lie, a complete fucking lie. I was chasing success and money and being a top performer, not for me this whole time. I was doing this to try to get acceptance from my dad. Growing up, he owned several businesses. He was an alcoholic. He didn't pay any attention to me. He never attended any of my concerts at school, never came to any of my sporting events, didn't even make it to my high school graduation. And I don't say any of this to make you feel bad for me. I've actually thanked my dad for not being in my life, because if I didn't experience all of this, I wouldn't be who I am today. When I was an adult, whenever I saw or talked to my dad, he was only interested in how much money I was making. He would compare me to my siblings, and he was always bragging up the kid who made the most money. Subconsciously, I was racing to make the most money to gain his approval. Maybe if I made the most money in the family, then he'd pay attention to me. This was all going on subconsciously in my mind. So when this light bulb exploded in my mind, it felt like a bomb. I thought I had everything I wanted. Loads of money, making 200 grand a year, living in my dream house, married to the love of my life, driving a brand new car. We would travel all over the world. We would alternate trips. We'd go to Europe, then we'd go beach vacation, Europe, beach vacation. I thought I had everything I wanted. All for what? It's like my life came to a complete standstill. And now I had to figure out what the hell I wanted. What do I want for my life? What do I want out of my life? And the big, hairy question was, what did I want for my life? This is where I had to dig deep and do some major self-reflection. Did I like the work I was doing? Do I like earning a lot of money? Do I like traveling? Do I like being a top performer? Do I like working 70 hours a week? And this is where I did the work and uncovered my true desires. I worked tirelessly on my mindset to live my life for me. And you can too. This is only the beginning. So whether you're listening to this podcast because you know me, because you want career advice, you want to be happy, you want to get more out of your life, whatever it is, I'm ready to take you along this journey. And I want to make it as easy as possible for you not to make excuses and start getting the results you want out of your life. So it won't be uncommon for me to give you action items in this podcast. Things I want you to start implementing in your life the minute you're done listening. I'm also going to end off every podcast with key points from the episode to recap and help these ideas stick in your mind. So, the key points from today's episode are: your life is a reflection of your identity. You have the power to change your identity at any time. And it's time to become you 2.0. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Share this episode and go make one change to be better than you were yesterday. Live your life with intention. I believe in you. I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible. So if you would please leave a 5-star review. See you next week. Cheers, everyone.